Welcome to this tutorial for C2 Care and virtual reality. Now we'll talk about in the self-assertion, self-affirmation, we will talk about how to react to insults and criticism. This is a classical issue for people suffering from social phobia. We have different ways, you have different ways to propose to your patient how to react to this. The first way is the easiest one, it is the self-mockery, the self-derision, the self-criticism. So the idea is to ask your patient who suffer from social phobia to take a part of a criticism that he receives and use it in his answer. So for instance, if someone said to your patient, "You are completely ridiculous with your clothes," then you must take what he have heard, or he must hear, she or he must hear what was the criticism and take part of it. So I was ridiculous with my clothes, or my clothes are old-fashioned, etc. So the answer is yes, it's true. It's because I'm working in a circus. In fact, I'm a clown, but I have very high wage thanks to this. So you see, you take the criticism or the insults and you use it to make it even more exaggerated. So the idea, in fact, of your patient is to take the criticism and amplify it in a funny way somehow. Another one could be, well, you are on the moon, what are you saying? You live on Mars or what? And then you live on the moon, you live on Mars, you take it, your patient take this and use it. Yes, you're right, I'm living in a space station and also I have a colony on Mars. It's very nice, Mars. Have you been there before? And you see, it is unexpected. The people making the criticism will be somehow surprised and taken aback by this answer, so that's quite good. Well, I don't know, there could be anything. Another one is, look at your bag, it's completely old-fashioned. You're a chav. And then the bag is completely old-fashioned, okay? So same idea, your patient take this and say, yes, my bag is like this, but that's quite normal. It's because I just take it from a grandmother in a cemetery. So you see, taking back the idea of my bag is ridiculous and make it and amplify it, exaggerate it with the idea of taking it in the cemetery or from a grandmother. Yeah, I stole it from a grandmother, that's why. Of course, yes, it's old-fashioned. I stole it from a grandmother. I stole it from an old woman. I stole it from a granny. Or, yes, I found it in the cemetery. Close to a dead body. You see, so the person making the criticism will be surprised and will not know what to say. Well, it's the easiest way to answer, to respond to criticism or insults. The other way, so that was the first way, self-derision, self-criticism, etc. The other way is the incongruity. The idea is to answer, it's to give an answer which is completely different from the topic of the criticism. I think the British people are very strong in that because they are very famous for this kind of humor, just like the Monty Python. The Monty Python often do this. Their answer is completely different from the criticism or from the context, and once again, the person making the criticism will be surprised and will not know what to say because he didn't or she didn't expect this kind of answer. Often the person making insult or criticism try to injure, try to hurt, in fact, the person. Then for the social phobic, it's also quite easy. They just have to answer on a completely different topic. For instance, if someone say, okay, you're ridiculous with your clothes, then the answer would be completely different. Oh yes, and I like seagull, and I especially like listening to the waves. It's so beautiful. And the parrot also. I like the parrot very much. What about you? Of course, the person will be completely surprised because she didn't expect such an answer. This was the second method, and now the third method is reciprocity. Reciprocity is more difficult. It's the most difficult one because it requires that the patient really hear what is the criticism and also use his mind to answer in an equally funny matter. And when you are stressed, to answer in an equally funny matter towards the person making the insult is more difficult. So usually it's required training. But anyway, it's important to mention it. So reciprocity is that you make fun, in fact, of your of a person making the criticism. For example, if someone say, "Yes, you're completely brainless," or you're retard, then the answer will be, "Yes, I'm a retard, but it's a good thing because I'm in the same classroom than you." That's also very good, you see, because that's reciprocity. Or if a clueless person say, "Yeah, look at your clothes. You like a hippie," or something like this. The answer, "Yes, but at least I don't look like a bourgeois like you, dressed like a homeless and pretend he's rich." This also is a good manner to answer, but it's more difficult. So for this conclude this self-assertion, self-affirmation part for the social phobic, and with these three different method of answering when they received criticism. I will see you next time for the next tutorial.